Hello everyone, my name's Joe, and thanks again for stopping by GE Healthcare. Okay, well hello out there, my name's Joe. Right now I'd like to share with you information regarding vital signs. This is a division of GE Healthcare. Alright, hello everyone, my name is Joe, and thanks for joining us for this important topic. This is lung volume assessment. This is a discussion on indirect calorimetry. Now let's face it, it can often be difficult to piece together all the data that's being thrown at you at the patient bedside, right? Not to mention all the data that we are there to collect from the ventilator. Now, what would you think if we were to mention that the information that you are seeing might not even be as accurate as you may want it to be? Now, the interesting fact is that the data that you are seeing can be influenced by a number of components in the patient survey. Now, Vital Signs offers single patient use, disposable products for the respiratory sector. In just a few minutes, I'm going to introduce our visiting expert who will provide insight on this subject. But first, we have a brief activity that's going to help get us thinking about this topic. As you can see, we have balloons. Now, since we're talking about lung volume assessment, what do you suppose these are going to represent? What do you think? The lungs, very good. I knew I picked the right person out there. Since I need a volunteer to blow up a balloon, and you've demonstrated such a knowledge of the subject, would you mind coming out? In just a few minutes, our visiting experts will be coming up here and give us all some insight on this topic. But first, we have a brief metabolic activity that's going to help set the stage for our speaker. So as you can see, we have a couple of stationary bikes up here on stage. And I'm sure you're very eager to get up here and exercise, right? All right, very good. Okay, now you guys can either tie those off and take them with you because balloons do make people happy, or you could just deflate them. Either way, we're not going to keep them, so feel free to do whatever you want with them right there. Very nice. Nicely done, actually. But I got to ask you, you're not dizzy or anything? A little bit, a little hyperventilated? All right, here's my question now. How did that first breath into the balloon compare to the last couple? Was the first one easier or harder? It was harder, yeah. In fact, it's quite a bit harder, right? I think anyone who has thrown a birthday party has experienced this, right? And I'm sure those of you with kids had them come to you with a balloon and say, you know, can you get this thing started for me? Right? You might be wondering what this has to do with lung volume assessment, right? Well, here's the point. This demonstration is a direct correlation to FRC, functional residual capacity. Now, as you know, this is the volume of gas in the lungs at the end of exhalation. Now, the ability to measure the FRC on mechanically ventilated patients provides a direct gauge of the lung's reservoir before and after lung recruitment maneuvers. Now, the maintenance of this volume is critical to supporting lung compliance and oxygenation, and here's why. Remember in our demonstration that the first breath into the uninflated balloon was harder than following breaths. Well, it's similar with the lung. The more deflated it is, the more difficult it is to reinflate it, and the more the lung is collapsed. In other words, the smaller the FRC, the more effort required to adequately breathe with the remaining open portion of the lung. Can anyone tell me exactly how many calories our riders burned or their rate of caloric expenditure here on their bikes? Anybody? 25. 45. Do I hear 50? Actually, it's not possible, is it? Right? Now, but if these were your patients, how would you determine the minimal amount of calories they would need each day? How would you calculate that number? We're going to have you play the part of the ventilator. Let's see where the issue may lie, all right? Right now, I'd like you to take that tube you got there, hold it up to one of your eyes, and look at one of these pictures here. Now, you are the ventilator, and you see the patient through a patient circuit and then an ET tube. So 28, what's the discrepancy? Where does that come from? Well, we're going to take some time with you today and explain how you can get a clearer picture of what's occurring inside your patient's lungs as each breath is being delivered. Now, infection prevention, that's been an important initiative for many hospitals, and for good reason, right? For starters, more strict regulations are coming into play relative to how devices are stored and sterilized to avoid contamination. Then, there's the whole issue of new guidelines for reimbursement, which penalize systems for hospital-acquired infections. How many hours can the LED light typically withstand on laryngoscope handles? Would you say it's 15,000, 25,000, or 50,000 hours? Going C? Consensus? All right, well, let's see. The answer is... It is C! 50,000 hours! You know, with vital signs, green light drill, laryngoscope, clinicians can get up to 50,000 hours with a single LED light handle. Now, we encourage you to check out the vital signs section of GE right over there to see the bright LED light in our green light laryngoscopes. Now, while there, you can experience green light in action by testing your intubation finesse on our airway mannequin and get to feel the form-fitting ergonomic design of the handle itself. Please join me in welcoming Alexander Adams. So please join me in welcoming Jennifer Woolley. All right, let's go ahead and grab my board and add up our scores. We got one more for the men, and I think that means the men won, right?
Yes!
Oh, okay, all right. We have a tie! Just like kissing your sister, yes. Congratulations to everyone, you're all winners. We do invite you to stick around the booth just a little bit longer. Here's vital signs over here that can answer any of your questions or give you any sort of demonstrations, and spend some time in the rest of our booth if you have the time. Thanks again for stopping by, and you all have a great day.